Oh! These hares are slippery suckers. Well, I've not been out for a couple of weeks with the boys. Obviously, I'm not flying my own hawk since Birdie went pop on the electrical power line. So, I'm finally getting out, and it actually is a lovely day. The pheasant season has ended on the estate, and that means we can access really half of the estate that I don't fly on until the end of the pheasant season. It gives us a month of new ground, if that makes sense. So we're going to give it a go and just do a recce. So just the local lads know we're on an invite today, but we're doing a recce because the Falconry Gathering 2024, two lovely gents won or bidded on the auction, and they won themselves a day out walking, with the eagles. So I want to make sure it's looking good, and then I think we'll rest it next weekend, and then hopefully we'll get those chaps over when they're available the following weekend, and have a great day out. But today a recce. I'll report back later in the video.
Identified as a goshawk now this short week.
Well, very cold when we got to the Falconry Centre today in the shade. Probably overdressed as always, because once you get walking, of course, you get hot. If you're carrying a hawk, but especially an eagle, you get really hot. So my classic is wrap up warm because I hate the cold. Wish I'd dumped half the clothes, just one field later, but I'm not carrying anything but you guys. So we'll see what it's like. A lovely day to be alive, but look at this. Beautiful day to be out in the countryside. Hard frost on the ground, but that sort of crispy weather where your breath's condensing, but there's not too much breeze, just enough to carry the birds. And just whether it's good for Falconry or not, it looks good and it feels lovely to be out. So everyone's having a chat. We're walking across a couple of fields where we don't usually hunt, stock in there and so on, but we can, there's no problem. And then of course, anything where you're having a bit of a social, I always look at I like to grab my own, don't I? So whenever you've got a bit of a gathering of people, you have to look at it as a social, and you have to just think, hares are going to hear us 2 miles away, and they're going to decide if they want to trot on away. First time on this land since last year, so maybe not so bad. But of course, people talking carries a very long way on a crispy day. So you have to take that into account, not be too serious about it. It's almost impossible to get people, especially non-falconers, to be sort of conformingly quiet. Very different to being on your own. But I'll take you along. We'll see what we see. That's all the interesting part of the season when we start walking this field for the first time. It just signals that new land opening up, just to sort of end the season on some fresh, unhawked ground. Come on. Tommy's got a thermal, Kieran's slipping Zeus, and Tommy thinks he can see a hair. Last year this was all rape, and rapeseed is often good for holding them. This sort of ground, not always as good. And of course for the smaller hawks, a bit of cover makes the hares look a little bit less intimidating. For the redtail and the Goldies and the Harris hawks. So absolutely thrown off straight away. Kieran's going for a walk. So stuff you learn with the eagles is fieldcraft for them. So Zeus is just using the land. He might have seen something, but he's just using the land and the wind to cover distance. Oh dear, oh dear. There he is. So on here, the hares always run uphill because that's what hares do. So you need to be ahead of the line. They're going to usually get up a fair bit ahead of the line. So once they beat the eagle on the initial run up the hill, up a steep hill, into the wind, they kind of don't know what they need to do. You've got to think about what the hares do and what the eagles want to do and what they're capable of. Ah! Oh, good effort. Yeah. Ah! Damn. So we missed a really good flight apparently by being in the bloody trees. So Kyle and Jack have done a run with a freshly caught hare from last night this morning. I've let the redtail catch it on a drag and have a bit of hare meat to just give her that extra. She's really trying, but she just needs to manage to foot a hare. Difficult late season, but this redtail's fast becoming the sort of the man of the match of the year, really. In just the flying of this bird has been outstanding, and we just missed, by all accounts, a really good slip. And now it's doing a redtail thing of like, I'll just look out for another one. Very interesting birds to work with. So this bird is supremely keen on taking game. Absolutely bomb-proof. Jack's done a lot of work with it. The bird was already trained, but he's done loads of work with it this year. Utterly bomb-proof and calm, and yet still doing that redtail thing now, thinking the tree's kind of a better place to be hunting from. I can see more. And taking stand in a tree. So 100% man. No nerves that Jack's trying to get around to get the bird down. Just that strong instinct of a redtail, which is to hunt from a perch elevated where it can see a lot of stuff. She's sort of laddering away down now. But it's also, if you want to, look at that, if you want to learn more about falconry, a redtail will teach you more than a harrisock. You'll be more successful with a harrisock. Redtail will teach you an awful lot more of what falconry was like before the harrisock was invented, if that makes sense. Oh! No! Flying fur. Look at the way that eagle flew. It wanted to drop, everything was wrong. So it lost the altitude and sprinted after it up that hill. It's fast, but how's it going to see that? It's got to keep going, hasn't it? Oh. So gutting, no one could get there in time. Kieran nearly got there with Zeus and got his hand on the hare, but Ruby lost it. Bit of a shock. If you're £2 3/4 bird and you cop hold of an £8 hare and you've never known what to expect before, I'm sure easy to get kicked off, but she hung on for dear life, Kieran said, but did get kicked off, so she's trying. But Jack's got to run a tiny bit faster for sure. And I see what looks like a bit of rabbit activity. They're not hunted or shot or anything, but struggling to come back here. Probably the saturation of buzzards and kites, but hopefully that's rabbit. Never mind that, I'm filming that one.
Oh, do you want to just line up the hill a little bit? Maybe see
So this field here is a real boxing arena for hares. It's a huge field for us, and it's like a bowl. So you can be on the high ground, but whenever your eagle chases a hare, by the time it catches it up, the hare's running up a hill in either direction. Good for slips, hardly ever catch anything, but I don't know if you can see, there are hares running everywhere. So when the sun's out in February, they definitely accumulate in this field, and they definitely do a lot of boxing and courting. Spring is springing. Oh, that's good then. We'll get Zeus back.
Might be worth just spreading up a bit.
Okay. Kyle's up with Stan. Hares everywhere. Eagle's covered some ground. Oh! These hares are slippery suckers. Someone's got a long walk. It was a good slit. That was a long range, wasn't it? So long range slips. Downhill, eagle doesn't mind, but the field is, there he goes, look, the field is full of hares. And because they're above ground, the eagles can see them. And this time of year, self-hunting, the birds have got fitter and fitter. There's a breeze, a bit of hill. Often people say they go hormonal, but they do, they'll start floating off and being quite ignorant and just distracted by all the hares they can see, and the breeze giving them lift, the hill's giving them lift. So Kieran's up there with Zeus. Kyle's shouting at his eagle, which is, hold on, make you all dizzy. Doing a big old lap of the field there. Oh, and he's just missed a sitter. So this is what happens. They'll spy one, and they'll just see it move or flatten down. They'll just sit there scanning and scanning. They'll see a hare, and they'll try and mug it in its form. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want them to have success. We want those hares to use a jump reflex and escape. Or we're just going to encourage those birds that chasing's a silly thing. Trying to spot a snicker and sitter and sneak up on it is the way to go. Far more energy efficient for the eagle, but of course hardly exciting or sporting falconry. So the bird's flying away from Kyle. It's saying, I don't really want to come back to the glove, I'll just drift around. You make me work hard, there's got to be an easy way. This time of year, with golden eagles in the breeze, it does often get a bit about, traipsing around the countryside, following your eagle around. And often calling it to the glove is the worst thing, because it comes in, it feels the wind under its wings, 40 metres away, changes its mind, flies up in there and goes scanning around on the wind. So you do have to put the legwork in. A lot easier not flying an eagle. Kieran's up next. Uphill hare. Oh, he touched that, didn't he? He snagged it just.
He done well there, is he?
Hard to do the short slips up the hill towards you, isn't it? Just gonna have a look, haven't we? Just mind your red tail, should be fine, but... So there's the bird just scanning around, and he's going to ignore Kieran, I think. He's right underneath him, and he's going to go all the way in the wind, doing what a golden eagle wants to do, and that is soar, scan, and stoop, because that saves you a lot of energy when a falconer is kind of hoping you're going to chase. Look at that, just ridge soaring on the ridge there. That's exactly what golden eagles want to do. Beautiful to see, but bloody annoying at this time of the year. Kieran's like 10 feet away, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And he's just looking for that hare to just move his ear, just melt down into the ground a little bit deeper into its form. And he's just, it's all free, this is. It doesn't matter how long he's doing this for. It's not using energy. So why come back to the glove when you're in a target-rich environment and you can just float? And the last thing we want to do is for him to spot a hare. We want him to think, well, that was a waste of time. Let's get back on the glove and go hunting where the hunting's good. Now he's dropped down. The hill drops both ways. Poor old Kieran, he's already run a mile today. Very frustrating this time of year with golden eagles. Certainly with Zeus, it's a habit he does most February. Here he comes, he's coming back. Kieran just wants him to dish on the ground, lose that lift, and then there's, oh no, he's managed to get airborne again. So Kieran's going to be going off. This is how golden eagles want to hunt hares in the wild. Stay aloft. Height gives them an inordinate amount of speed when they fold up like a missile, certainly with a decent bit of height. Look at that. Poor Kieran. And he's going to work his way into the fruit bowl field. You just know he is, and then he's going to spend ages sawing over that. Oh, he's going to land! Run, Kieran! Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Elephant grass there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Go on.
That bird's bloody fast, isn't it?
Go on.
And it's got long legs, isn't it?
Go on. Smart runner. Yeah. Go on. Go on. It's got that. Got it.
Oh no! It's like a shotgun blast or a sniper bullet. Just bloody fly, bird. Just catch it. Put everyone out of their misery. Oh, he wants it, doesn't he? Wherever it's going. Where is the hare? Where's it gone? Oh yeah, no, he didn't want that then, did he? Looks nice in the sun. So before you all write all your comments, oh, that bird's beak's overgrown. It is overgrown. And Jack's been doing a lot of work trying to get this bird to hood, and we were hoping to hood her and then cope her beak. We didn't want to cast her because Jack's got such a good rapport with her. But yes, we will soon. She's been having some rabbit heads. But she's fine. More of a concern, we've just realised her talons are not needle point, and that's not going to help this bird at all catch hares, so we're going to get those sharpened up, change her perching substrate. But Jack's done so well with this bird. You've learnt quite a lot really this year, haven't you?
Tons.
Tons.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
It's a sharp learning curve, isn't it? A steep learning curve. We'll get one. Are they near it?
Yeah, I think so. Can't see now. There's one right behind Tom. There's literally one 6 foot behind Tom.
No.
Yeah,
There it
that's
goes.
You can't fixate on one, you've got to scan.
That's the thing, when you get to a different angle of the field, you can see different ones, can't you?
You just walk past that. another 10. Keep going.
Ah! That hare is bloody motoring.
Yeah, it was a long.
I can't even keep it in the
Go
picture.
on, Zeus. Go on, Zeus. Keep flapping your wings.
Yeah, he's like,
Come on,
he's
man.
tired.
Go on. Go on. Go on.
Oh no! But they're hard to catch, aren't they?
I believe he's sticky. They're worse in January. Stick that one.
But look how far ahead it is. Not even bothering. Look, this is. Look at the distance that hare's pulled out already. Down the hill.
Well, it's going across.
I bet it wouldn't be down if you were running after it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Makes the eagles look really naff.
Does, doesn't it?
They look really, look, he's landed. They makes it look really slow and laboured, doesn't it? What the heck? He's just loving life, isn't he? What was that all about? Oh, I thought it was a fox. Is that a rabbit? Wow. It's on a mission now. Look at it go. Yeah. Ah! Right at the last bit of the... Got blown off. They're all getting tired, aren't they? He's put the speed on there, didn't he? Tommy's going to tread on it. Fucking hell, that's big, isn't it?
It is big. Come on, here we go. Come on, here we go. Here we go.
Oh no! How close was that? That was a good one. And then he fell over backwards. I don't know why, because I knew I'd seen the prices like that.
Poured your pint all over the bar again.
Yeah, look. Oh! Who's that? Kyle. Thank God for that.
No more moaning.
Yeah, that's exactly what we all think, isn't it?
Praise the Lord.
Carly,
Yeah.
has he been doing your head in?
Go for another.
Yeah. So we certainly weren't cheering the demise of the hare, but we weren't even cheering the eagle finally taking a hare after so much work. We were cheering to stop Kyle actually moaning. Oh,
That look aggressive.
he's got that, hasn't
No,
Oh,
go,
no,
go.
he? No.
He's close. That's massive, isn't it? Oh, that was so close. Literally, he's going to run a jet.
Run, Tommy.
What the hell was that? I thought he was going to land then.
Oh! What the heck? How did that even happen? How did the hare? Yeah, what did the hare just run back up the hill?
I think it must have just knocked me
Yeah, he's got no excuse, hasn't he? Wow. They're not even bothered. They are like a swarm of locusts, aren't they? When they're just swirling round and getting back up again.
A little load over there as well. There he goes.
Running at the track as well, isn't it? God.
Go on, he's down.
Back on it.
They never go get back on there, do they? Well, they do sometimes. Don't they?
Yeah.
Another one down the hedgerow.
Oh, distance
Oh,
that's
shit.
gone.
Right down the bottom.
Red tails.
Yeah.
She had it.
There he goes.
Hee ha ha ha.
Go on, Zeus, nail it. Go on, he wants
Go
that.
on, Zeus. Go on, Zeus.
Oh, they can't catch them
There's another
today.
one there. Oh, there's another one.
shit.
Oh, try not to let her see him, Jack, because it will tire her out.
Jack, turn your back to it.
So you always want to use your body to.
Tom's running as well.
Hardly can even run yet.
It's growing, isn't it?
They do want it at twilight, don't they? These birds really switch on as it's like that. They think nature tells them it's their last chance,
I
don't
guess
they?
he's just sitting there and waiting.
Did you see the hare? Oh yeah, look. That bird was kind of going all over the place, wasn't it? Unless it was just trying to work out. Unless it was just trying to work out like where to go. Oh my God! They just can't catch them, can they? Sorry, just jumped out of the way. So a good day out. Birds performing pretty well. Certainly the eagles switched on later in the day. Started to mean business. Kyle's took a hare, but it just shows how hard it is. Really, we had quite a few flights. Quite a productive day with quarry. One kill in the bag, if you like. Jack's redtail is still absolute dynamite, but we have worked out, as you saw, those talons are dull, so we need to get those fixed up before the end of the season. Give it that opportunity. Hopefully we're going to get it ferreting as well, and you know, needs some confidence when the bird's flying that far, that fast, and that determined. It's almost gutting that it doesn't get that warm meat that it so deserves, for sure. I flattened 2 phones. So what I've worked out is having the microphone plugged into the phone, it actually drains the battery. My battery on my new phone is really good, but it's shocking. It drained it pretty fast, way before the day ended. Having the receiver plugged into the phone, so I'm going to have to bring out the battery pack as well. I then flattened Carly's older phone. You know what older iPhones are like, the batteries don't last forever when you're videoing. And then use Kieran's phone. So we got a bit of wind noise in the end there. So things we've learnt there. But at the last field, actually out of the field, but on the last field that we don't normally fly, the boys at twilight pushed through a woodland, not even a woodland, a square of trees. And Muntjac jumped out and ran up the hill towards us guys, spectating. They're down a hill. No good for eagle unsighted. And then another one broke perfectly for Tommy. Zeus was flying Tommy, giving Kieran a break. Tommy was flying Zeus to give Kieran a break. And Zeus absolutely switched on twilight feeding mode. He absolutely larruped away, flat out, caught the Muntjac, and as he's done it in the entirety of his life, hung on, didn't secure the head hold, and Tommy ran, and was about 20 feet away, and it got its head under some very rare stock fence here. Tommy saw the deer was kind of getting towards the fence as well with the eagle attached, and he thought, that's going to stop it, he's going to catch this one, and it actually got its head under, as Muntjac do, and literally raked Zeus off. So near to getting a Muntjac. He's never actually held one long enough for me to assist, even though sometimes he's held on to them for ages. But if you're sort of catching some at 200 or 300 yards away, that's an awful long way for old people to run. In other news, before I go, I brought a young buzzard, common buzzard this year from some breeders. You know who you are, you're brilliant guys. And one of them's also a keen snake enthusiast, so top bloke. The trouble was, he'd been with its parents for half a year in only a skylight seclusion aviary, and it just wouldn't adapt. It's just too much going on in a Falconry centre. I want it to work with the public and possibly be chilled out in school halls, and it just couldn't get its head around it. In fact, to be honest, I did not have time to get that bird going. It was so fat from being in the aviary so long, it literally just wouldn't eat. It wouldn't sit on a perch. I had it for weeks. It ate a mouse, then didn't eat for another week and so on. Quite calm, strangely. Anyway, I gave it to a good friend, the guy that bred Henry, my Harrishook, and he sent me this video, I think 2 days in. He's had it bowed in his lounge with a telly on all day, so there's always stuff moving. And I think what's helped, we put it in an aviary here for the last few weeks, open to view at the front, so it's seen people, it's seen dogs again, and it's seen a bit more than a long time institutionalised in a skylight aviary. I've also got the breeding pair, and I'm really hoping Adrian will take them on, but we'll see, because we're not really set up to breed birds at the Falconry Centre. But I would like a young common buzzard back, because although we see them all the time in the skies, as do the public, British birds up close are my favourite things to educate the public on. After all, that's where we live. I'll see you soon. Loads more how-to videos coming, but while it's still the Falconry season, I'm just trying to get a bit more flying in, so a bit more of that, and then back to some really helpful videos. See you soon.